Hello everyone, Tyler here, and today I'm going to be talking about the transition from Godot 4.2 to Godot 4.3 with our Godot for Tactics project. So as you can see here, I've already opened up the project. This is the project based off of the previous video, which is the hover display. So I'll be working off of that code, but I'll also be updating the other projects um, on GitHub as soon as I can. So looking at our screen here, you can see that we have a ton of errors and we've got a bunch of warnings here on the side. So the errors on the bottom here, all the errors that say calculate grid coordinates, we could ignore. All the errors that say something that isn't calculate grid coordinates, we do need to focus on because that is a problem that we will need to fix as soon as possible. As for these warnings, I'll be addressing that later in the video, but it's merely just a few simple things, so this video should be rather short at the end of it. So first thing we want to do is we want to see the real errors that we actually do have, and in order to do that, we're just going to click run, and let's see if the project crashes or not. As you can see, it's loading real slow, almost infinitely, and it is working. So everything seems to be working fine then, for the most part. Although there is an error that I came across in a different project of mine that I will be adjusting very quick. Just in case it does happen to the rest of y'all, we need to open our Unit.gd script, and we could just do that by clicking the script icon here. Scroll down all the way to our ready function. And as you can see, there is an empty space here. And now you can delete this or you can just click tab. I'm going to click tab. And this can sometimes cause errors in your transition from Godot 4.2 to Godot 4.3. So just do this, and that should fix one of the errors. And if your project runs fine, that's great. We can move on to the next step. If your project doesn't, please leave down a comment, and I will be able to address you as soon as I can. Before I forget, there's another empty space right there that if it causes an error you want to fix. And moving on next, we are going to be making our tilemap layers, which have been deprecated in the transition from Godot 4.2 to 4.3 into tilemap layers. In order to do this, we're just going to click this warning sign, and I'm going to read it out to y'all. The tilemap node is deprecated as it is superseded by the use of multiple tilemap layer nodes. To convert a tilemap to a set of tilemap layer nodes, open the tilemap bottom panel with this node selected. Click the toolbox icon in the top right corner and choose Extract Tilemap Layers as individual tilemap layer nodes. And that's really simple. We just follow these steps. There's our little gear icon right here. Let us click Extract Tilemap Layers. I'm just going to do that for every single one of these real quick. Extract Tilemap Layer and Extract Tilemap Layer. Okay, so it's going to make them all layer 0, and we don't want that. We're actually going to rename these to the exact same as what they're based off of. In unit path, let us attach the proper scripts. So this one is going to be our new map layer. So we need to attach map.gd. In our unit overlay, we are going to attach the unit overlay script just right here. Unit overlay GD, just drag that over, and then unit path is right here, so unit path GD. Move that on top. Okay, so now we have our scripts attached. Now we need to move these out and then delete our old tilemap layers so that there's no conflicts. So we're just going to move these up. Let us delete our old tilemap nodes. And we are going to rename these. We're just going to remove the 2 from all of them, so that way they match our old setup. So there we've done what we need to do in the inspector, and now we're going to work on what we need to do in the scripts. Before we do that though, I almost forgot, we need to click on unit path. We need to go down to our file system and hover over grid.trace. We're going to drag that in to the grid on our unit path. If we don't do this, we're going to get a bunch of errors later where our grid is going to be detected as null when we try to run the unit path script. As well as we need to go to our unit overlay. We need to go to visibility, and we're going to change our modulate. And the reason for this is because when we run the program after we update our scripts, it's going to show our blue and red tiles for like movement and attack ranges as solid. We don't want that. We want it to be like our previous version. So we're just going to click that. We're going to click raw, and then we're going to change this to 0.32 because that is the same value as we had it previously before we updated the tile map to tile map layers. Okay, so now we're finally going to edit our scripts. We're going to open our map.gd, our UnitOverlay.gd, and our UnitPath.gd, as well as our GameBoard.gd we're going to be editing. So let's start off first with our map.gd. We are going to change our extends to TileMapLayer. We're going to save our file, and we're going to see an error appears here. We have var tile equal to get underscore cell underscore source underscore ID 0 comma vector 2i xy. And it says too many arguments for get cell source ID right here. Let's open our output. And it says expected at most 1 but received 2. Okay, so what is this saying to us? Essentially, in our conversion from the TileMap nodes to the TileMapLayer nodes, all these functions, such as get cell source ID, that require you to put in a vector 2, are just going to need you to remove the very first integer that you are adding. And that very first integer on a TileMap node is essentially the TileMap layer number, but because all the TileMap nodes are getting converted to the layers, we don't need to indicate what layer number it is because our node already knows what layer it's on. And we are going to do this for all of our converted nodes. Save that. Layer. Save. Let's just clear that. And now let's go to GameBoard.gd. Here where we initialize our TileMap, we need to change that to layer. Save, and then we're going to see that an error appears all the way at 99. We're going to get rid of this 0. Clear that, and the game should run just fine. So everything seems to be running fine. We fixed the deprecated TileMap nodes into TileMap layers, although there is one more problem that we do need to fix. So now you might be asking, what is this problem? You know, our game runs perfectly fine, everything's looking good. There has been another function that was deprecated, and that is in our A star. So for A star grid 2D, the dot size has been deprecated. If I hold Control and then I left click, you could see that it says, hey, you know, this call has been deprecated. We need to use dot region now. We're going to go back to a previous thing. So let's change this to region. And I'm not going to run it because I don't want to run it because I know it's going to crash. What region uses, if we check region, it uses a rect2. And as you can see, this has 4 inputs, but vector2 has only 2. Now you might be thinking, okay, so we know it's going to crash. We know what's going to happen. How do we fix this? It's really simple. You just need to do rect2. I'm going to do parentheses. Actually, let me go back so I can show you that autofill. We are going to be initializing a rect2 using 2 vector 2s, one of size and one of the position. Now our underscore grid.size is going to be our size vector. Our position vector is going to be 0, 0 because in our original code, we initialize the tile map layer at position 0, 0. So in order to keep that in suit, we are going to create a vector to at 0, 0. Save that, run it. And there we go. We have now successfully transitioned the project from Godot 4.2 to Godot 4.3. We have fixed the tile map layer nodes. We have fixed any potential errors that could come up from not having a tab in a space that it needs to be, such as with our other function at the very beginning that I showed. And as well as we fixed the deprecated a star grid dot size to dot region. And with that, that's the end of the video. If you have any of the questions, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe, as well as check out the GitHub, and please give it a star. That would really help me. Thank you.